a ship. Not again. Just what the ocean needs. More flotsam for me to trip on. I knew I should have never surfaced at full size. Wait! Don't run away. There's no need for panic. Look, I'm tiny now, just like you. Well, not just like you. There's no need to go overboard. Don't you think there's enough human trash in the ocean? Why are you getting all up in my bubble like this? Is my bioluminescence mesmerizing you or something? Because that's how you wind up as ceviche. Humans have some nerve complaining about kaiju stepping on their precious buildings. Have you seen what you've done to our reefs? So this is the beach, huh? I thought so. Yeah, I've heard all about it. It's the place where whales come to die. Wow, at your size the ocean looks even bigger. How do your puny minds even begin to contemplate its vastness without driving yourselves mad? Or do you just not? Do you think that ship will be okay? Damage to the hull below the waterline will get ya. Just a little bit of maritime wisdom for ya, free of charge. You humans! You're always venturing into my domain, but whenever I rise out of the waves to introduce myself, you harpoon first and ask questions never. I came ashore thinking you land dwellers might be better hosts than guests, but clearly I was wrong. Sigh. Anyway, I'm Sephia. You're still here? Oh, wow! Okay. Stay fresh, Sephia. Since this may be my only chance, can I just say one thing? I didn't wreck your little ship on purpose, okay? I'm not that kind of kaiju. Aw, you made me ink. Ah, humans. You're so scared of sharks when it's actually jellyfish you should be worried about. Now there's a sticky situation for ya. I'm not a squid or an octopus, but a secret third thing. You just have no clue of what's down there, waiting for you in the deep. You're awfully brave for someone so tiny. It's cute, like a plankton that refuses to fear the whale. Maybe just don't ask me how that worked out for the plankton. Yeah, I've sunk a few ships, but in my defense, that was a really long time ago. How was I supposed to know that giving your explorers a guided tour would end with them sleeping with the fishes? Being rejected by most of humanity yet again is a pretty huge letdown, but I can handle it. Crushing disappointment? Meh. Try being crushed by 8,000 pounds per square inch of underwater pressure. Don't actually try that. It's not pretty. Trust me. So what are you? Some kind of kaiju groupie? Because at first, I thought it was kind of cool you weren't scared of me. But now I'm wondering about your instincts for self-preservation. Primal fears evolved for a reason, you know. Do I look like the kind of aquatic tart with a grotto full of thingamabobs to you? Okay, kinda. Gimme! I'm not sure what to say when people tell me my sense of humor is too dark. I'm from the abyssal zone. I can't help it. I never knew my parents, but I'd like to think if I had an octo-dad of my own, he'd have been slightly better coordinated. That whole Atlantis bedtime story humans tell themselves is so quaint and sort of sad. Is it really that hard to accept that there are places on this earth they can never claim or conquer? How would I even know if I'd seen Davy Jones's locker? It'd just get lost among all the other human trash that's littering the seafloor. Yeah, I've met the big ape. I never understood his fascination with eensy-weensy human women, though. He'd get so much more mission-critical kaiju stuff accomplished if he quit monkeying around. I guess you could say I'm a bit of a humaboo. visited, like, all your shipwrecks. The Titanic, of course, the Queen Anne's Revenge, Kublai Khan's Lost Fleet. You ever heard of the Fleur de la Mar? Yeah, I've been there. Twice. Of course. When a cutesy little mermaid in her seashell bra or whatever takes a bunch of souvenirs from a sunken ship, humans are like, aw, she wants to be part of our world. But when I do it, it's grave robbing. Oh, good, it's you! I wanted to hear your theories on the Bermuda Triangle. Humans' quaint little misconceptions about it are so funny. Eek! The last time someone got the jump on me like that, they were piloting a giant robot. Of course, that time they weren't trying to tickle me. Just keep swimming, just keep swimming. Well, unless you're surrounded by one of the more aggressive subspecies of sharks, then all that thrashing around just attracts their attention. So I've come to understand that a certain subset of humanity likes tentacles, as in likes them, because honestly, same. Fascinating. It seems we have more things in common than previously thought. It was a sad day in the sea when we heard Steve the crocodile hugger died. That guy was a real one, a human who saw the beauty and wonder in the monstrous and the strange. He could make a blobfish feel like a babe fish. I'm sorry if I come across a little bit intense. This is just the most time I've ever spent with a human. Without them drowning, anyway. And I'm mega curious. But hey, it could be worse. I could be a shark. They investigate stuff they're curious about by chomping on it. Have you heard the good news about our Lord, the great dreamer Cthulhu? Just kidding. As if the old ones need the help of proselytizers. I wonder how this would look with a bunch of barnacles on it. Only one way to find out. I visited one of your human board game cafes today. It was educational and even kind of fun. Up until someone yelled, "You sunk my battleship," at me. I did no such thing, and I present the suggestion. I've been meaning to ask you, do you like my outfit? I've been told I have a habit of dressing too flashy. Well, I say there's no such thing, and anyone who disagrees is just lower on the food chain. I can't believe how many water bottles there are in the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. Mountain water, river water, tropical island water. How's the saying go? I heard you liked water, so you put your water bottles in the water? Want to hear a joke? Why do they say octopi are the friendliest fish in the sea? Because no matter who you are, they'll never pass up a chance to hug the life out of you. Of course I speak well. It looks great on a resume. I just realized. I've been so keen to find out everything there is to know about your world. It never occurred to me that you might have some questions about mine. So, go on. What'll it be? Do you want to know if there's still megalodons down there? Or how many enemy spy submarines are cruising your coastline undetected? Or, how about I tell you what the bloop really was? Well. Would you look what the tide washed in? You are cracking me up! I can't believe they call sea monsters man-eaters. Humans are way too scrawny and bony to eat. And even if you weren't, I'd never discriminate based on gender. You seem like you're up for a good time. Want to go terrorize a holiday town during the tourist high season and see how long it takes the mayor to admit there's something in the water? Do humans actually pee on jellyfish stings? You do know that rumor got started as a prank by the dolphins, right? And you actually fell for it? I guess that settles who the real smartest species on the planet is. Obviously, I'm not jealous about you hanging around with other kaiju. I'm just concerned for your safety, okay? Not every giant city-stomping monster is here on an innocent cultural exchange like I am. Thanks to you, I feel like I could go anywhere and talk to anyone without fear of harpoons. Too bad now I don't want to talk to anyone but you. I swear, I'm not trying to be a pilot fish. You're just really interesting. And you don't mind answering all my questions. And when I tell you about where I come from, you don't get a look of existential horror. Hi! Hiya! Howdy! Hello? Hola? Sorry, I'm not really good at this. You know, the sea never says hello. It just waves. Aw, you bring me the best treasures. You're like my own personal shipwreck. In a good way, I mean, like the best way possible. You're pretty cute for a human. Your skin's real sleek, like a dolphin's. Now, if you had eel teeth or a tail barb like a manta ray, you'd be almost irresistible. Is it true? Up here on the surface you mate, but then afterwards nobody dies or gets eaten? That sounds fun. Is it weird that lately I kind of want to drag you down into the fathoms with me? Not that I'd actually do it, but I admit it's something I've been thinking about. Would it help if I told you that I'm not thinking about eating you once we're down there? Wanna, eat some crabs right out of their shells together? I wouldn't normally share, but for you, I think I'd make an exception. Sometimes, I wish I was more like my cephalopod cousins. If I had as many arms as they do, I'd use them all to hug you. I'm confused. If there's plenty of fish in the sea, then why even bother with the so-called dating pool? Wouldn't that mean you're trying to find mates in the entire wrong body of water? Whenever I see you lately, I feel like my whole body is full of exploding bubbles. Unrelated, but did you know that underwater volcanoes are superheated and highly toxic, yet home to entire micro-civilizations? I guess there's a place for everyone to belong. I had an inkling you were getting to like me. More! I want at least 10 tickles! I decided to try an episode of that squid-themed game show everyone's talking about. I was expecting underwater trivia, but it was so violent. I want 10 more seasons immediately. You're rapidly becoming my fave human. I squid you not. Would I be fishing for a compliment if I asked you whether I'd look good with scales? You'd think after the 100th harpoon between the eyes I'd have learned my lesson and just stayed in the abyssal zone where I belonged. Curiosity killed the catfish after all. But I'm not a catfish. I'm a kaiju. And if we'd have run away from one another at the first sign of danger, we'd have never discovered one another's beautiful depths. Hey there, sailor. Ugh, I can't believe I said that. Do you have some soap so I can wash out my mouth? You're giving this to me? For eel? Wow! Did you know octopuses and squid have 3 hearts? I don't know how many I have. I never counted. But what I do know is they all belong to you. I always knew I was curious about humanity, but it was more than an academic thing. I didn't want to study them or observe them from afar. I wanted to be among them because I liked them. I liked you. In fact, the more I get to know you, the more like doesn't even begin to cover the way I feel about you. I need a different kaiju-sized word to express the way I feel about you. Like, love. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. How's about you and I go for a dip together? What kind of dip? Oh, you know, I'm pretty open-minded. Guacamole, cheese fondue, chocolate syrup. Or we could always skinny dip. Come on in. The water's fine. Psst. That was me asking for a kiss. There you are. I missed you. Without you around, it feels like I'm gasping for water. Have you seen Liz around? I want her to make us a big wave so we can go surfing. Hi, lover. What'll it be today? Do you want me colossal squid-sized or giant squid? Can you believe giant is bigger than colossal? I could go bigger still, but you'd have no frame of reference since they're undiscovered species. Are you a small whale? Because you are looking delicious and I want to wrap my arms around you. Oh, I love this so much. I have to find somewhere to hide it where those pesky pirates can't find it. If anyone so much as thinks of drawing an X to mark the spot, I'll feed him to a shark. I know I told you before that I'm against single-use plastics, but luckily for both of us, I plan on keeping this forever. Thank you! I can't wait to bring this back down into the ink-black depths with me. I haven't gotten an unexpected gift of this caliber since that huge honkin' diamond necklace came plummeting down and bonked me on the head. Gosh, that was ages ago, too. It's been 84 years! I'll get you back as soon as I catch my breath. Aw, aren't you a little cuttlefish? I feel like I'm never being romantic enough, what with all my talk of the ocean depths. But sharing my unsettling interests is how I share my heart. So next time I tell you about the Baltic Sea anomaly, just imagine it's a lovey-dovey sonnet. Now, I don't resent sharks for having their own special week exactly, but they're not the only apex ocean predators who've survived multiple extinction events, you know? When do the rest of us get our turn? I'm from the abyssal zone, darling. Of course I love you deeply. I knew there was something worthwhile up here. If I could just get past the whole humans harpooning me every time I come to the surface thing. Thank you for proving me right and making it all worthwhile. Now that we're together, I can finally settle the debate on whether the plural of octopus is octopuses or octopi. How? It's easy. When it comes to you, I'll always choose us over I. Oh. If anyone tries to tell you I'm secretly a fish alien, it's a trap. To think, people thought us kaiju were a myth. They sure read the signs on that one. Soon may the marshmallow come to bring us sugar, kisses, and tea. That's gossip. And bum? I did a human meme. Hit like if you want to see more. Did I do that part right? Are you secretly a cephalopod? Because you occupy my thoughts. Some fish straight up die if you mess with their habitat, but not me. Saltwater, freshwater, doesn't matter. All I need is you. If you want to go live in some murky algae-infested bog, I'll happily be your little swamp thing. Did you know, even though most kinds of octopus eat their mates, the Pacific striped octopus prefers to cuddle hers? Talk about relationship goals. Don't worry, if you ever drown, I'll give you mouth-to-mouth. In fact, I might give you mouth-to-mouth even if you're not drowning. Like right now. Your love is like a riptide. It came in fast, without warning, and swept me away. But unlike an actual riptide, nobody died in the process. Yay! If I had a nickel for every time humans made a movie about a human superhero being the ruler of the sea, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. That girl Bonnabelle, slap a starfish in her hair and I swear she's the spitting image of someone I knew down below. If our relationship were a submarine, it'd be a real Lovecraft. How come humans say you could drown in one another's eyes? Isn't drowning a bad thing? I feel like everything I thought I knew was a lie. Although, when I look into yours, I can't believe the three of us Kaiju girls were gonna tussle over you. It's way more fun to get into a cuddle pile with you instead. I just heard there's an octopus up here on the surface who has his doctorate. I always knew they were smart, but wow. Oh, did you brush up against an anemone recently? Because one touch from you is making me tingle all over. I used to feel a bit self-conscious that I didn't look like the other cephalopods, but now I'm relieved I have lips instead of a beak, because it means I can kiss you, like this. Mwah! Come on, take me into your arms. Don't be tentacruel. Oh, all right, I admit it. You caught my heart. Hook, line, and sinker. When I first came to the surface, I thought the sun was hot. Little did I know, you had it beat. Are you sure you're not part anglerfish? Because you certainly attracted me. You know, in the abyssal zone, the water temperature is regularly only a few degrees above freezing, right? So I don't really need to be bundled up like this. On the other hand, I look very cute, so I'll allow it. Huh. For all the schools of fish I've met in the Seven Seas, this is the first I've heard of a school uniform. It makes sense, though. How would a tuna wear a necktie? Down in the abyssal zone, making 'em stop and stare is all about the light show. But in your case, I'd say this bikini is working way better than even the brightest bioluminescence. This dress makes me feel as frilly as a jellyfish. Oh, sorry. What's the equivalent surface saying? Let's see. This dress makes me feel as pretty as a princess? Did I say that right? Yay! You may kiss the tide. Pride. I see you eyeing my fish hook. I know what you're thinking. Yes, it's a trophy. And no, the angler I snatched it off of never tried casting his line in my waters again. Thank you for explaining what the moon is. I thought that glowing orb up there was attached to a colossal outer space anglerfish, and this whole planet was about to get gulped. The big floppy hat and water gun were a great idea. Drawing down the hot sun doesn't seem like much of a way to spend a date. Have you ever seen a dehydrated sea sponge? It's horrifying. They may have thought I was crazy back in the abyssal zone, but I always knew the surface could be beautiful too. Thank you for showing me. So, let me get this straight. Humans gather in a dark space, allow themselves to be transfixed by a bright projection, but then nobody gets eaten? Is that why the popcorn portions are so big? To keep you from snacking on each other? Out of all the bright, mesmerizing colors of this world, why would anyone choose to be so blah? Did you know the pistol shrimp, despite being only a few centimeters in size, can make a noise as loud as a human jet engine? Wanna drop one on Martha's head while she's sleeping? Martha's so needy, following me around like, please show me your bioluminescence. I want to see your bioluminescence. It's not for her. I heard that Martha keeps a couple of tiny fairy priestesses around just to sim for her. Wow. Maybe if she were a cooler kaiju, she could at least upgrade to a pair of creepy heels or something. You know, in the abyssal zone, we have a word for creatures attracted to light the way Martha is. Food! I just want to know where that Liz gets off. Always coming out of my ocean like that. She's a reptile. Shouldn't she be sunning herself on a rock somewhere? So Liz can make herself as big or as small as she likes, and that's the size of feet she went with? Okay. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. How much does Liz spend on moisturizer, do you think? All that scaly skin. It must cost a fortune. You think Liz has ever used that lightning breath of hers underwater? That would be funny. So it turns out my bioluminescence lights up when I dream. No wonder Martha cuddles up so close to me in bed at night. I used to be so judgy about Martha following me around all the time. Now I realize it's really nice to have her company. I can now say conclusively, not at all theoretically, I would love Martha if she was a worm. Okay, a caterpillar technically, close enough. Have you seen Martha around? I went shopping for some new retro threads at the vintage shop, but wound up buying an entire carload of old wool suits for her. Do you think she'll like them? Do you think if I asked nicely, Martha would carry me high up into the sky? I heard the coral reefs are stunning when you see them from above, and I'd love to share that with her. Liz and I have more in common than I realized. Think about it. She's a lizard kaiju who hangs out in the ocean, and I'm a sea monster kaiju who hangs out on land. Also, we're both super cute and cool. Humans say Liz is a destructive force of nature, but she walked from the bottom of the ocean all the way to the shore without trampling a single coral reef. Seems to me that she's careful and considerate, actually. I'd still love to turn mega-sized and grapple with Liz sometime. Say, do you know where we could get, a lot of Jell-O? I'm no jellyfish, but I'd let Liz step on me. You ever look at someone and say mommy out loud? Not asking about any kaiju in particular or anything, just curious. You ever meet someone who makes you want to flatten them? Maybe with a giant paint roller that's been drenched in enough sticky ink to drown them? Sorry. Was that hypothetical scenario a little too specific? I was walking around minding my own business when I got tangled in somebody's discarded fishing net. It's one thing to worry about that in the ocean, but on land? Talk about overfishing. Who keeps sending me cooking videos on how to make calamari? Where I'm from, we eat our seafood the way nature intended. Raw and wriggling, not dredged in breading and soaked in oil. Like most misunderstood sea creatures, I'm not actually a danger to humans. But for that girl, I might make an exception. Who pasted my face over the shark's head on this movie poster? You'll never go into the water again? What the shell did I do? Did you know there's a parasitic isopod that devours a fish's tongue in order to take its place? Do you think it has to be a fish tongue? Because if a certain human keeps letting her tongue wag, I may want to try something out.